joining me is Julie Sawatzky from the 519 Community Collective. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
It is our pleasure. So just let's get right into it. To start us off, what is the 519 Community Collective and what services do you provide throughout the community?
Yes, so the 519 Community Collective is a local nonprofit organization that's compiled of many, many beautiful, wonderful, compassionate volunteers that work tirelessly to make sure that needs are met for those who are going through homelessness, poverty, and emergency situations. We have 11 different programs and services that are all free to the community, and all of our volunteers run those programs on a weekly basis.
Awesome. So 11 programs. That's that's a lot on your plate.
Yes,
I'm going to use a lot of food analogies.
I love
this
that.
whole
Please
thing.
do.
Let's
do
it. So I think the way I know of the 519 Community Collective was during COVID. There was a lot of food insecurity, and there still is now, is my understanding. We'll talk about that in a bit. And I would see on Facebook the caremongering group, and I would see you had a Facebook group as well, the 519 Collective.
Yes.
And it was really food hampers is what came to mind. So that is one of 11 programs that you have.
Yes. So I started the 519 Community Collective as a group online during the pandemic, and it grew very quickly once we see the need was growing, and the need really, as you said, hasn't gone anywhere since the pandemic. It's only I think become more obvious and more widespread across the region, and we just continue to kind of grow with that need as we go along, and we've certainly learned a lot about the folks that are in need and how we can help, and we're just doing whatever we can to fill in the gaps wherever we can.
Awesome. And what is that moment? So we were talking a little bit before, and you are a you have more creative. This is very creative what you did too. I will say that. This is more of a not-for-profit initiative. But before this was started, you were a hairdresser, also a photographer, and I guess COVID sort of put a damper on.
Yes. I think COVID put a damper on a lot of people's industries, but for myself personally, we were considered non-essential. So then I went from being a very active professional creative to being at home, and that was really hard for me. And I started the group, and when I started to see that people were really struggling in much bigger ways than just not being able to work, it really opened my eyes, the eyes of my family members, and we started, rallying the community and my friends and professional networks and said, what are we going to do about this? And it's been amazing to watch everybody kind of join along in that mission of kindness. It's been really neat to watch.
So what was that personal moment that led to the collective?
Yes, so I just remember, quite frankly, just being incredibly depressed, being very emotional about having everything shut down, and my life kind of coming to a screeching halt and changing in really big ways, and all the uncertainties and things like that. And I remember just saying, I'm going to start a group. We're going to rally everyone together. We're all going to make it better for each other. And if I only knew what that little create a page on Facebook would have formed and created, and all the people that I would get to know along the way, it's truly a blessing.
Oh, lovely. Now, if you will indulge me, I'm going to ask you a question you've been asked many, many times, which is, how is 519 Community Collective different from the food bank?
Yes, absolutely. So 519 is a mixture of a lot of different programs. Food Hampers is one aspect of what we do, but we have a much broader kind of an umbrella of services. So it's not just food hampers. We also have frozen meal programs. We have lunch programs, sandwich programs, where we have volunteers making sandwiches and essentials that we then take out to the motels acting at shelters. We go directly to the encampment. So we are more flexible. We can work outside of regular business hours, like the food bank and things like that. And we do work with 40 plus different third-party agencies as well. So just an example, Victim Services, they had a mom come out of a domestic violence situation. She's in the motel, but she doesn't have access to food. It's 9 o'clock on a Friday. What do? They let us know, and our team goes to work and meets that need.
That is very different. It does set you apart from the food bank. So let's say for the frozen meal program, do you have a kitchen?
Yeah, so we have 2 commercial kitchens, actually 3 with our sandwich program. So we have a meal kitchen in Cambridge that is publicly accessible on Thursdays and Sundays. We serve anywhere between 150 to 200 meals at that location every single night when we serve. In Kitchener, we have another commercial kitchen that's been inspected by the region of Waterloo, and we serve all of our frozen frozen meals from that that kitchen there, where volunteers get together and they cook just. You can't even imagine the delicious recipes they come up with. It's really neat to see what comes out of those kitchens, and everyone's so grateful.
Yeah, and cooking is part of community too.
It is. Food, we always say it, our food is love.
Right, but you need supplies to cook.
You do,
right?
you do.
So I'm going to kind of segue here into the.
Yes.
Yeah, we saw this on social media a couple weeks ago. Right now, there's a high demand and low supplies. Tell us about those challenges.
We have just noticed such a big increase in the need across all of our programs, and more so people reaching out that have said they've already utilized the food bank, they've already utilized the churches and the other things, and they're still struggling to make ends meet. So we have, I would say, almost a 40% increase in need, especially over the last year, which is really large. But we do have a lot of international students. We have lots of people that are refugees, and our program doesn't discriminate against anyone. In good faith, if you need help, we'll be there to help you. So I think a lot of the people who used to be donating to the services are now on the receiving end. So it's just a bigger gap, and we're happy to do what we can, but thank God for all the agencies in the region working together, because we're all about that community over competition. We all need to work together to make sure that the needs are met wherever we can.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I am seeing this physically, little pantries.
Yeah.
How is that work? How is that program? How much work? There must be a lot of work trying to manage those pantries, keeping them stocked.
It is a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work. And we have found, like, with the increase in need, we've definitely seen an increase in recipients and people utilizing those services. So we have 26 little free pantries across the region, all the way out to Fergus, Elora, Guelph, Breslaw.
Is there one at the Kitchener Market?
There is. That's not affiliated with us. I believe that's the KW Community Fridge.
That's okay. But you tell me about yours. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So we have 26 little free food pantries across the region, and then we also have our community fridge at 150 Rogers Street that also has a large pantry attached to it. So we can take anything in there that is a non-perishable item, small, basic needs, toiletries, things like that. The word on the street has been amazing. People are loving them. They love that they're accessible 24 hours a day. I think that is important for people, and not everyone feels comfortable, going, putting their ID, being face to face with someone. Sometimes it's nice to be able to just zip down there, grab a Campbell's soup, and no one knows the difference, so to speak.
So if someone is looking for help, or if somebody wants to help, what's the best way to get in touch with the collective?
So we have a website, www.519communitycollective.com. We are currently updating that, so please be patient with us. We're updating some of the forms and things like that, but we do encourage people to join our online Facebook group. That's the group that originally started it all, and that spawned off this amazing community effort. And to be in that group is special, and you get to hear about all the things going on. You get day-to-day needs like, hey, we need this delivered here, this person needs a food. You can raise your hand. It's really, really a neat place. It's unlike anything I've seen in the region, where we rally the community. We have almost 12,000 members in that group. So there's a lot of people accessing help and a lot of people giving help, and it's just been really neat to watch.
I'd love to see the dynamics of that Facebook group. I do pop in once in a while, and I want to thank you for coming in today, Julie, telling us more about the collective, and keep up the great work, you and your team.
Thank you so much. Yeah, our team is amazing. Thank you so much.